everybody. How you doing, man? This is Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Pitts and Pitt Sports Talk Radio, coming to you live from the Urban Crab Shack. Listen, man, this is the first kick out. It's been a long time coming, but what can we say? We're here. Shout out to my man B Hunt for allowing us and hosting us in his lovely restaurant. If you can, talk to the viewers and listeners a little bit about your restaurant and everything.
Well, first of all, thanks for this opportunity to host the show. We're doing some great things, especially with CUs, and definitely a big fan personally. Just to give me this flower, we told him at the game that we can't wait till the pictures come out because it's always fantastic. Like I said, we wish we had you taking our pictures. So definitely just want to say thank you, brother, for everything that you do. In terms of here, we are at Urban Crab Shack, 1991 East Joppa. We have an outstanding happy hour. I've been here for a year. The best seafood in the city, if you can agree with that. So we have a $5 all-day happy hour menu right now with food, with drinks, good times. So it's definitely a to come hang out with us.
So listen, we're going to go ahead and jump right in because Hunt is also an alumni of Morgan State, and this show is specifically tailored about and for to Morgan State. So just talk about what Morgan State means to you as an alumni.
But I had the awesome opportunity of finishing. I was supposed to finish in 2005 technically, but I just finished in 2023. I had enough things going in the right direction to be able to come back and finish. So I'm blessed to have had that experience for sure. But Morgan means everything. I think I have no problem saying I'm Morgan made. And Morgan made me a man. The ups and downs and heartache and pain, as they say, but I was able to persevere and I've had much success as an entrepreneur. Also, it's a business sector as far as my job. So I would say Morgan taught me a lot. And as I said, any college is not just about the classroom, it's about the connections that you make. It's about the lessons that you learn outside of the classroom. I will say Morgan is definitely a great place to get well-rounded education inside and outside the classroom.
If you can, share a little bit about the background of MSU Legacy Bears, the alumni that you guys are a part of, and that has been fulfilling the needs and assisting the student athletes of Morgan State for some time now.
Well, our whole organization, which we started looking at 10 years ago, was the more or less a bridge again. Because, of course, we all have our real stories and we all have our separate experiences. So we started MSU Legacy as really just, hey, we don't reach back and make that bridge and we welcome those young athletes coming behind us and give them the opportunity not only to see ahead, we can make it like outside of football. Whatever we're going through right now, there's a way to persevere through. And there is, to give an example of what life after football looks like. So we have some great leadership. Our president, Mr. Towson, Vice President, Mr. Kevin Biggins, who's our working part-time lead receiver.
Shout out to Fox. Shout out to KD.
And we also have a great leadership board, Mr. Lamar West, Dr. Lewis, Mr. Trey Swain. And it's many more that I can list from the spots and can't get everybody. We have a good core group of established men that are doing good things in the community and trying to push this our legacy, our Morgan State legacy forward into the future. The guys, of course, have done a great job. So we just want to continue that legacy.
Absolutely. So when you talk about Morgan State, we want to jump right into it because, as you know, Morgan played Hampton this week, and it was the first game of the season. And one, it was a lovely turnout. It was a team pack. You had the likes of AI in the building. But if we just go through the quarters of the game, talk about what you've seen offensively from Morgan State in the first half.
First, I had a little trouble recognizing the quarterback. I didn't know the switch numbers. So I had 0. What's his name? It's sticking my head right now.
Towson.
This is good brother. He had an outstanding game. The ball pushing up down the field. One game was like really come together. And I know switch offense coordinators when my own team was really good team from last year this year. It takes time to get the kind of kinks out. And we saw a little bit of that, just trying to get used to just the verbiage, and just put in a new system. They didn't take a lot of time to get it going. And once we got it going, we looked really good. Hampton has traditionally been a good program, well coached, good athletes, and they definitely showed the well improved team overall, especially the points in the game. They definitely showed a well improved team. They had to do some good things in the game, so I was really impressed.
When you talk about, and you touched on a couple of good points, right? You talk about the switching of the offensive coordinator, and you talk about the continuity and the how the telling and everything that they went through last year to try to get to a point to where they were cohesive enough as a unit. And then this year, you bring in a new offensive coordinator, so now the playbook is different, right? The calls, the sides are different. So we talk about relearning a new system all over again. One thing that you touched on was that they were effectively able to run the ball. And as they always say, either the run opens up for the pass or the pass opens up for the run. And in that game, they had a total of 244 yards rushing, right? 244 yards rushing. And you talk about that with an offensive line on the very first game, and you talk about a hostile environment, a loud environment such as Hampton. I think it was impressive enough just for the fact that you could tell they believe in each other, and you could tell they played for each other. And it was an awesome experience for me to witness because a lot of people don't know Morgan was down a couple players now. So for Morgan to be down on offensive lineman, or they're starting left tackle, I think number 71, I don't think he played, right? So when you talk about that, and you talk about those things, and you talk about the offensive line, and you talk about the gelling, and you talk about everything that they did and everything that poured into it. You talk about greatness, right? And you talk about a unit that is destined for a lot of great things going forward. And times that you've spoken of, man, listen, he ran over the safety something terrible. He ran over the safety something terrible. And I think that at first, Hampton may not have respected the passing game. And that showed in the end of the first half. And second half was different. Came out passing, effectively throwing the ball, able to take back some of the people out of the box, or were not able to crowd the box a little bit. Talk about from the defensive perspective in the first half, because they too were down a couple players, but they were banged up a little bit.
It really didn't look like the Towson. They played as a unit. They played Southland. I think they definitely have the conditioning. You didn't see guys on their knees, and you didn't see, you've always seen a unit that's really together. The unit's not together. You see a lot of clean point and a lot of kind of extraness on the side. That's one of the things that really have an opportunity to look for on the sideline and the unit behind that bench. And I wanted to kind of look after we come off the field, after we get the score here and there, how to get it together. You tell these things together, and you tell that the unit is functioning as one. It definitely was a sight to see. They played hard. I don't, in my memory, I don't recall a lot of missed tackles, that kind of game. So they definitely played tough. They played hard. Like I said, Hampton's a very good player. So they really come out and show what they show. I think that was very impressive.
Well, again, man, I appreciate you for taking this time to sit with me. Again, I thank you for opening up your restaurant for me to host it out of here, man. Greatly appreciate it. Long season, a lot of episodes to come. Appreciate you very much, man.
Definitely.
My guy, B. Hunt. Morgan, I love that.
Have a good.
You as well, man.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah. B. Hunt, I'll take it. So we're going to go ahead and tap into the second half of the game. As we've been saying, man, the second half was just like the first half. The difference was, so let me take a step back for all those who were not able to go. Oregon State definitely were down some linemen. They were definitely down some defensive players. But the moral of the story was, so you can tell when players are playing for each other. And Morgan definitely were doing that. Big ups to Coach Wilson, Coach Sewell, Coach Foreman, Coach Brawley, Coach Coleman, Coach Fant, Coach Ruddick, Coach Carey, offensive. Like, listen, when I tell you that team from top to bottom, they played with a sense of urgency, they played with a sense of effort, and they played together. And it showed. Because like I said earlier, Morgan was down some linemen. We were also down one of their linebackers in Hunt, and number 40 Hunt. Listen, it's a long season. They were able to take care of business against Hampton. As I said earlier, they had 244 yards rushing. They had 2 turnovers. And we're going to go ahead and talk about the defense because the defense is something that has been a catalyst for the Morgan Bears for the last couple of years. And it showed again. In this game, we talk about football being three phases. We talk about the offensive, we talk about the defensive, and we talk about the special teams. The thing that I liked most about Morgan was there were 2 situations where they may not have got the best punt that they would have liked, but defense stood their ground. Defense came up with turnovers. The defense did not blink, and that's what you like, and that's what you want from your defense. That's what you want from your team. You want a team that's not going to blink. You want a team that, regardless of what the game looks like, and regardless of how the game is turning out, you want a team that you know is going to give you their all 100% of the time. And that's exactly what you're doing. When you talk about the second half, that's when things really started to kick into high gear. I'm talking about whether it's the running backs setting the tone, Morgan running backs. I'm telling them right now, do not overlook the size of Morgan running backs. They may look small, but they're physical in stature. They do not blink from contact. They will bring the contact to you as well. And then it's to Todd Smith. Todd was not going to shy away. As number 0, the safety for Hampton, how that ended up and how the end results turned out for him. But we're going to go ahead. Jaden Carter came up with an interception. Bransky had a fumble, strip fumble. Again, Morgan Bears set the tone early. And what best way to do it against a team that's not in the league? It's one thing to look good when the season's going on. It's another thing to look good when you're playing, when it's the first game of the season and you have players out and you're not sure of what you're going to get from your team. I think they responded accordingly. So let's go ahead and not to mention that Morgan had a humongous crowd. Morgan alumni and fans turned out. Shout out to the Morgan State cheerleaders, did an awesome job. Shout out to the Morgan State band who made a surprise appearance. I was not expecting that at all, but all of a sudden I hear music, I look up and it's not Hampton, and what do I see? I see the Morgan State Bears marching band walking through. And like I'm talking about, it was a situation where you would have thought Morgan was out at home. They would have come to. Shout out to Morgan State band for taking over like they did. Let's transition to this week's matchup. This week they play against Towson. Last year the Bears played against Towson. It didn't go their way. Offensively they struggled a little bit in the beginning of the game. Defensively they played as they usually do. But, the difference for that game was, offensively it took a little longer than they may have wanted it to. They were able to come back when into overtime. Even though they went into overtime, wasn't able to pull it out the way that they may have wanted to. Again, shout out to Morgan State Bears. I look for a totally different matchup this week in Towson. Battle of Morgan, who wants some more. The team that Towson faced last year is not the team that Towson's facing this week. And I say that again by starting it off when I talk about Todd Smith and I talk about his comfort zone. Last year there was a shuffle of quarterbacks to see who would be able to be the one to take the reins and move forward and lead the team. Taj ended up, towards the end of the season, he was also the pre-season MEAC conference. So Morgan State has a lot of good things to take away from last week to build into this week. And I look forward to seeing that. I look forward to seeing that running game continue to be effective. I look forward to seeing the running game open up the passing game a lot more. You had that stretch of a pass down the field to West. Beautiful catch, toe tap on the sideline. So Morgan has all the right things. They have the formula for success. It's about coming together, and they did just that in Hampton. Now we look forward to Towson. Now we look forward to another opponent. And as the year goes along, I look forward to seeing Morgan become more of a collective unit as they showed in It's going down there, like I said, Pitt Sports Zone. Really TV for all your sports needs when it comes to Morgan State. Set the track. Shout out to Coach Wilson for all that he's done and he's going to continue to do. It gets no greater, it gets no better than this. I'm your host, Pitt Sports Zone, Blue TV, coming to you live from the Urban Shack. Thank you very much for tuning in with us this week. And if you have any questions, any comments, like, share, subscribe to all our social media pages, whether it's YouTube, whether it's X, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting us. Shout out to the parents who constantly reach out on Instagram. Your appreciation is greatly felt. Again, I'm your host, Pittsburgh's Really TV, Pittsburgh Sports Talk Radio, coming to you live from the Urban Shack. Over on Crab Shack, there's no better than us. Tune in with us every other Tuesday, live 7:30.